Well, isn't this exciting? So glad to be here with you all. Just going to wait for a few of you to arrive so I'm not just a person in a room saying words to myself. But I'm really excited about the lineup we've got tonight. So many great performers. We've got Jeremy Tuplin, we've got Aflo the poet and Pris Nash, we've got Adam Giles Levy, Mr. Nomfom, and Nick Byrne. So yeah, really good lineup tonight. And it's just amazing to see the hard work that goes into this process. Matt is just a kind of genius that is doing this for the love. And it's really inspiring to see and really encouraging in these times to come together and kind of share words and stories. Even though technology can be scary and complicated, I think, we need each other in these times and we need inspiration and to feel connected. And I think it's great that Matt is facilitating that with these sessions. So many wires going on right now, you have no idea. So just gonna wait for a few.
I'll say hello as well. Oh. Just hi. I'm all sweaty in the back of the corner with a really bad camera. So welcome to the show, guys. Sorry, we've been a bit sort of like delayed with getting the link up there, but we're sort of there now with it now. So we're just gonna hang on for a little bit and wait for some people to get on, and then Naomi's gonna give us a lovely piece. So hand you back to Naomi. How have you been doing, Naomi? Have you been good?
I've been really good. Yeah, I've been a sweaty being. Basically, I've got all the good lights in the room. They're all on me, which is why when it switches back to Matt, it looks pretty basic. So it's my fault, really. I just, need all the lights.
I'll just show you. Naomi's got 2 cameras on her. So
it's my narcissism run wild in here.
Yeah, and I've got the sweaty camera. So.
Sweat cam.
Yeah. I mean, normally I think we get Bavel up sort of soonish, but yeah, I know you've got a poem for us, haven't you? So
yeah, okay. I think I might have shared this one with you before, but why not read it again? I just wrote this kind of towards I guess it was near the start of lockdown, and yeah, I guess it puts things in perspective about what's important. Every night since the city started inhabiting itself like an empty shirt, the shape of its warm body barely visible. We weave a homemade hedonism out of the bones of our old ways. I light myself candles that I was saving for some other time. It seems that time has finally come. But who knew that a wild kind of quiet had actually been looking for me all along? Who could tell that another city was rising up to meet us, shedding its old skin to reveal Atlantis beneath? In the times before, I used to feverishly wash my hands like I was afraid of what they might do. I would press the light switch the exact number of times it takes to appease some deity into making the weather fall favorably from the sky, praying all the time that it wouldn't fall down, intimately aware of my own monstrosity, believing I could assert some will over the expansion and contraction of nature in her dance. How foolish our old fears seem when something real arrives, yet when it comes to it, we find we are beasts again, just the same, fighting and flighting, heavy and mortal, heaving our own heft. It has, after all, always been invisible things that have brought us to our knees. All the things we strive for, like ripples in a pool, just wrinkles in the fabric of matter, when all that really matters is how we are sowing the season's harvest. The simple divinity of watering the soil we are in. And in return, we get to hold what is given back up to our faces like shells filled with songs. I'm not here to tell you this was all for the best, a lesson, destiny, or retribution. This is just the story unfolding, the coil uncurling in intricate rings. But whales are still leaping to meet the dawn. Some things are always true. Some things never perish, like how I could hear their laughter ringing through the walls, and it is all I needed tonight, a crystallized piece of raw humanity, the best of what we are. And how another night we sang to each other through the walls and doors, knowing the things that unite us are more powerful than those that divide. Thank you.
That was
So-
beautiful.
Oh.
Really beautiful.
Thank you very much.
No worries. I've literally just sent Bevel the link to the YouTube, so yeah, we'll just chat for a bit.
Cool. Yeah.
But yeah, Naomi came all the way down from Brighton today. She's in Windsor. It's your first venture out of Brighton, you said, like more or
Yeah,
less.
in like
So
6 months, I think. It felt very strange being on the road again and driving up here.
yeah, I mean, it's I think I went to I was down in, where was I? Dartmoor a few weeks back, and it's just such a nice sort of get away from, your normal surroundings, and you just really appreciate, I think getting away a little bit more. So
Yeah, I guess we've talked about this a lot today, but it's always about putting things in perspective, and there's something beautiful about realizing how small and insignificant you can be in comparison to like the grandness and magnitude of nature. Because I saw you took some really good nature photos when you were in Dartmoor.
Oh yeah, but then in lockdown in Windsor, I haven't really been on the photography that much at all. So I
Yeah.
think like at the beginning, I was a bit like, oh, should I go out with the camera? Am I doing my daily exercise by doing that? So, when art starts seeing like something that's you're not allowed to do, it's well, for some people it makes it want to do more, right? But like
Transgressive, yeah,
yeah,
totally.
but for me, I kind of shy away with something's not easy and free to sort of do. I just
Yeah. I guess a lot of spontaneity was removed from the situation. So
yeah, exactly. I think that's what I'm kind of getting at, really. So, but it's so nice having you here. I'm gonna just chase Bevel up a little bit.
No worries. Well, it's lovely being here and just kind of being in the studio here with different artists creating things has been really encouraging for me, to know that art is still happening, and yeah, people are still kind of speaking their truth and taking risks and showing up, and yeah, it's been really nice, life affirming.
Oh, definitely. I mean, it was obviously nice being with you today, and we were going down by the river and taking some photos and doing some videos, which we'll show some of them a bit later on.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't even seen them yet, so we'll see. We'll see how they turn out.
Yeah, it'd be great. I don't think I've even seen them apart from through the lens. So like
cool. So it's an experiment. That's always fun.
Yeah, and have you still been finding sort of things to do in lockdown? You're back in a van now as well, I believe it. So
yeah. So I think just like we were saying, getting back out in nature and the kind of simple things, living a more simple life and being more spontaneous, meeting up with people at a distance. And yeah, I guess it's hard. You go through kind of slumps with it, don't you, where you go through periods of being super creative and having a real surge of energy, and then other times you just have to allow your feelings into not pushing the creativity too much and just realizing this is a difficult time, and it's okay just to take things slow.
Yeah, I completely agree with you there. Right, I'm just going to see if Bevel. Oh, there he is. Sorry.
No worries. And maybe we're just not used to living like that, at a slower pace and allowing ourselves time. We're so kind of focused on productivity and being busy. So
yeah, because you were saying you really enjoyed the sort of extra time, weren't you? So it's,
yeah,
I have too, to be completely honest. But yeah, I think it's sort of I think it depends what you do with it. If you're going to sit in front of Netflix and stuff, it's maybe not like the best use of the time. But
there
maybe...
is a time and a place. We all need a bit of that sometimes.
Yeah, no, I do enjoy it. I have caught up on quite a few shows which I haven't sort of had a chance to watch in my busy period, so it's been really nice.
You can kind of fall down a bit of a hole, can't you? True crime drama is the one for me. What can I say?
For me, it's been Better Call Saul. That's been the one I've been watching a lot. So
okay, yeah, that's pretty good.
Okay, we got Bevel. Okay, I'm just going to bring him in. I just realised the way we got the studio set up tonight, they're only going to be able to see me. So they'll be talking to you, but they'll be able to see me. So they might find that weird.
It's all good.
It's all good.
Nice one.
Let's bring him in. So
enter the room, Bevel.
Okay, so we can hear him. Bevel, are you there, dude? Diamond Bevel. He's labelled his name Dismond Bevel. I'll have to ask him about that. Okay, he's joined the Zoom, but his cameras and stuff is off, so we'll just wait until he comes and joins us. But
So am I right in saying Bavel normally does the sound at the Hope?
yeah, so Bavel has been like literally like a lifeline for the Music and Words Club since we started. You know, he sort of volunteered doing the sounds, and he's also performs some improvised poetry, which he's probably going to do tonight as well.
I have such admiration for people that do that, because that I just can't even begin to imagine. I just need to like practice it and write it out. So for people that can just ad lib on the spot like that, that's some real talent.
Oh, it's very impressive. I am literally like in awe every time he does it. And I think over the 2 years we've been run the club, he sort of gets better every time. So I think that's it. It's practice, isn't it? You know.
What does he do when someone throws a word in like sausage or octopus? I mean, they're quite like niche words.
He fits them in his quirky way. So, you know, in fact, let's see if we can you read that from there? Oh, we got him now. So can you read the comments on there, Naomi?
Yeah, I can. I didn't want to see the comments, but
I apologize.
No, it's okay. It's fine.
Right, I think we got Bavel in now, so
Great.
I'm gonna just have a chat with him. Can you hear me, Bavel?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear. Okay, I'm gonna just put you on the screen. So, okay, so you can see me, but you're gonna be chatting to Naomi because I haven't set up a webcam for the sort of Zoom chat thing yet. But so Naomi is here. So you have to believe me, she exists. It's not just Pete Cox putting on a funny voice. So, you know. But yeah. So anyway, I'll pass you over to Naomi. Okay. So
it's so lovely to meet you, and yeah, I'm really looking forward to hearing your stuff. So yeah, take it away. Do you need me to give you some words, or are you just going for it?
So I'll go for it to begin with, and then I'll ask you. So I want to say hello to Naomi, hello to Matt, hello to everyone who's tuned in and listening or looking at the recording now. I'm really excited to be in this space, and I'll introduce myself, and then I'll do a piece, and then I'll invite you just to type some words in the chat box or in the YouTube comment stream, and then Naomi, could you read them out for us, please?
Yeah, perfect.
When they're in there.
Or I can read them out if Naomi doesn't want to read them. So, you know.
Perfect. My name is Diamond Bavel. I'm the composer of words, the creator of music. My message to the world, if you decide to use it, is that you are not alone. I express this through music, spoken word, and poetry, writing about the world around me that I see. And as I look through the eyes, deeper to where, you know, beyond that part of you that lies to yourself, telling yourself that you could do something else, but if you follow your heart, maybe something would knock you off of the path. You know, that path that continues to light up your dreams, but nothing appears to be what it seems, especially when you wake up to this reality of life. Thinking once, but maybe wondering what life would be like if you just allowed that fire to continue to light. Bright shining in the darkness of light, because sometimes you wake up when it's dark so that you can see your own light. Finding truth because there would be moments for us to see those parts of us that we would like to fantasize about. Get real intimate with them and then see what life is about as we continue to exercise and dance with that passion of life, but realize that sometimes something's knocking in the background, like it did there and then. Seeing what life would be like, especially when you look for them, we could become one or two or three or four parts of the same coin, parts of the same dice as we roll. Maybe picking another night, another day, so that we could look into this and see what life would be like if we play, but maybe we just exist. As we look down from the floor to the top, we see shoes with trousers, with a top, with glasses, with a hat. And we wonder what life would be like if we just were able to attract the things we wanted the most. But maybe we just like to coast as if we are riding the waves, because so many waves come and go, like the tide influenced by the moon. And now we can see what life would be like if we were just here for show. And I'll end on a question, which will invite everyone to type into the chat box. This question will be, what do you see when you look out to the horizon? And if there are any words in the chat box, please feel free to read them out at this moment in time, if there was anything that anyone had written.
Okay, I'll go with it. So we've got sultry, overrated, transformer, and that's it so far. So you're a bit slow on the words tonight, guys. I remember for Pete Cox's one, because it was all poets on the stream. Like, we had so many words we couldn't even read them all out in time. So it's unbelievable. But yeah, keep going with them words, right? But do you want to start some of that, Pavel?
I can give you a word as well.
Perfect. Yes, please.
Incandescent. It's my favorite
Sultry.
word. Incandescent.
Incandescent.
Got support's another one that's just come up as well.
Support.
And I'll give you one as well.
More.
Sweaty.
Sweaty. And there were a couple more which you'd mentioned earlier.
Transformer.
Transformer, support, overrated, sultry, meaningful
Support.
is a new one. And then whatever Naomi said.
Incandescent.
Yeah. And sweaty.
As we seek sweaty support to transform us into an incandescent light, maybe wondering what life would be like if we were just here in this moment in time, so that we could see that we would walk in the steps that we're fine, but if we find the parts of ourselves that are a little less sweaty, maybe more conformed but reformed and refined, so that we could redefine what life would be like if we just walked in time as the sands dropped. When we refer to the chat box or the space on YouTube to see what words we have to add to this first place.
So, you know what? Were you counting which ones she's done?
That was amazing. I don't know how you managed to just flow with that like it was no big deal. I would have really struggled with that. So we've got collective, space, and meaningful have just popped up as well as new words.
You say faith or space?
Space.
Space. Cool. Collective, space, meaningful.
But let's put faith in there as well, because I see that on the horizon.
Yeah, that's a good one.
As we collect the parts of ourselves that we perceive as most meaningful, dropping the other parts that maybe created space so that they could allow us to walk in the faith in which we see parts of ourselves and who we truly be. But as we look in the mirror and see eyes, we see the truth. And as we look further into that, we wonder what life would be like if we just believed in boots. Like vocals or boots that we put on our feet so that we can continue to walk streets, but streets that walk this maybe had seen many a day of defeat, but have they seen days of success? Do we count the things that make us stress or the things that allow us to feel blessed? Type into the chat box. Are you counting your blessings or counting the things that keep you stressing? Maybe we'll take a poll so that we could see what life would be like if we continued on this journey that continues to unfold. We'll pause here and check the time to see how much time we have left.
You're fine, mate. Keep going. It's all good. I mean, what does time mean these days anymore? Like, you know.
That was just incredible. I
Yeah.
have no idea how you do that. That's such an enviable skill. We have had a few more words come in.
Looks like an Eleanor show at the moment, though.
Yeah,
so-
Eleanor's holding it down for us. So we've got
Thank you,
Fathom,
Eleanor.
Fathom, Takeover, Butterfly, and Fortnite.
Okay.
Oh, there's another one just popped up. Check in.
Check in. Check in, check yourself. Maybe fortnights allow us to see how we can fathom how in such destruction there still lies a butterfly. Floating eagerly by, but we see that as we look down, keeping our eyes on bullseyes, that we can see life would be just that little bit more happy, that little bit lighter if we were just like that butterfly that walked through all of the chaos. Maybe there's method to this chaos, but we continue to play off because we pretend we know where we're going. And sometimes as the wind continues to blow in and out, making sounds in the background, we still see the light. Still see many things lost and found, but found and lost were wondering what there was a cost. But if we had to put a cost to time, would it be who we spend it with? Would it be what we spend it on? Would it be investing or invest on or invest in me? See so many things about taking time out for me, taking time out for myself, but I would like to see something else develop as a result of that. What would you like to see?
Woo!
Let that be your food for thought.
Amazing. So good.
Thank you very much.
I need to learn how to do that.
So, Pavel, I remember you invited me to something earlier on. I mean, feel free to tell me what you guys have been doing. So
some of my colleagues at the School of Awakening, we had a COVID-19 event. So we were just looking at some things that you may face over the times of COVID-19, sharing some tools or some different points of view so that we could look at things differently, as well as sharing some experiences that others have had as a result of being in that space, and some guided meditations.
sounds very impressive, man. So it seems like a really worthy sort of thing that's needed at this time, right? So
Definitely.
And how have they been going down?
Today was the first one. It was good. And then we're just looking to see, we'll analyze what happened and then see what we can do to make things better, to make it an even bigger success. And if anyone would like to find out more from me, just feel free to connect with me.
Brilliant. Will you post a link to how they can connect with you in the comments for us?
I am not on YouTube at the moment.
Well, just whenever you get a chance to get on there, just drop a link and people will know where to find you. So.
Yeah, are you mainly Instagram or Facebook, YouTube? Or...
Yeah, so you can find me at Diamond Pavel on Instagram. And you can also, just find me at Diamond Pavel on Instagram or Twitter.
Nice.
For those of you who use Twitter these days.
That sounds great. Yeah, please follow everyone that's watching.
And if you want to go directly to the school, it's at School of Awakening.
Brilliant. And are those online events that you're running, or are they?
They are, yes, through the Zoom platform.
Cool.
On a channel called Zoomflow.
Nice. Okay, great. Oh, thanks so much. It's a real pleasure meeting you. That was incredible. Thanks so much.
And you.
Thank you very much. See you soon, mate. Take care.
See ya. Bye.
Bye.
Okay, that was Diamond Pavel. Oh, hang on a minute. I don't want to do that.
Where did the sound go?
No, I was almost about to leave the meeting, which would have been a disaster.
Oh,
I just want to kick Pavel out, don't I? So sorry.
Oh, don't kick Pavel out. Let's all just stay here together and have a nice time.
I'm going to put him in the waiting room, and then he's still there if he needs to come back.
Okay,
so
good.
it's all good. It's all
So
good.
I think next we've got Mr. Nom Phom.
That is correct. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really excited about hearing this next performer. So he's a poet and rapper from Slough and part of the Empowered group. So really looking forward to hearing more about that. Do we have him in the room?
Yeah, I'm going to get him up on there now. Hold on 1 second.
Please see him into my office.
Emit them on. There we go.
Sorry, Matt, give me 1 second.
That's okay. I can hear you. Don't worry, you're not being...
Can you hear me properly, by the way?
Very
It's
nice. Yeah, it sounds
crystal
lovely.
clear.
Really? Because I did an audio test and it sounded trash, but fair enough, fair enough.
You sound better than us, mate. So,
Mm.
you
Oh,
know.
wow, thank you. That's
Yeah.
the short SM7B. So let me just start my video. There we go. Sorry, it's a bit dark. In fact, let me turn the light on.
That's all right.
There we go. Hey,
Yeah.
Okay. So
how is everyone?
you can see me. One
Yeah.
sec. I got to do the split right first. But you're going to be talking to Naomi. So
That's cool.
she is here. So
That's cool.
This is just what Matt's voice is like now.
that's what I've been practicing over lockdown. You know, to become a ventriloquist.
I've got it on my
So-
PC, so I'm just looking at the stream right now anyway. So
We're all there. It's like, I don't know which way to look.
Well, I'm gonna stop my video, just so you don't have
Cool.
to look at my ugly face. So
Your sweaty face.
yeah, exactly. With the bad camera, so you know, but still. And yeah, I'll pass you over to Naomi. So
Yeah. So I guess first of
All
all, just wanted to ask like where your inspiration comes from.
a lot of my inspiration comes from George the Poet, because when I first heard him, I'd never even heard of spoken word. So I was like, spoken word? What on earth is that? I heard it. It wasn't singing. It wasn't rapping. It was just talking. And I was like, that's great, because I can't sing and I can't rap, but I can talk. So, and the things he was talking about were just like very relevant to the time I was living at. So yeah, that's where a lot of my inspiration comes from.
That's so cool. And can you tell us any more about the Empowered group that you're part of?
Oh yeah. The Empowered group is probably the most fire collective you will ever find, ever. It's actually very, very surprising that Slough has such talent like this, because you think of Slough and you think, oh, there's not much there. And I guess people keep their creative endeavors to themselves. So when I first came to Empowered, I was like, there's no way this has been running for 2 years. It's been running for 2 years. There's no way this has been running for 2 years. When I first joined, I think they've had their 6th year anniversary. So I'm old, but
A veteran.
but yeah, you've got a bunch of people and everyone from like different ages and stuff, and it's quite a family friendly event as well. But it's just really nice seeing everyone's perspective, because sometimes you can get trapped in the perspective of someone like my age, you know, mid-20s, and that's your only focus, if that makes sense. But then you come to Empowered and you hear what life's like for like a 13-year-old or for someone in their 70s, and I think that's just such a beautiful thing.
That sounds so great. So how does it work when you all come together?
We all come together, we all just watch everyone perform.
Okay.
There's like a list, we get like a set list, and you know, our host Saliha, she's like, look, just message me beforehand if you want to perform, and we'll all just sit on stage and just listen to everyone's performances. And it's a bit more of like an intimate crowd as well. Just because it's familiar faces, you feel very, very comfortable. So yeah.
So it's kind of like an open mic, and then people kind of give
Yeah.
feedback on each other's. That sounds so great.
Oh yeah.
There's not enough of that kind of like support and feedback, you know, from your peers.
Yeah. I mean,
sounds great.
everyone's just so welcoming, like, because we all know that the person that graces the stage, how much bravery it takes. So you know, we're fans of anyone that stands on stage, as long as it's not hurting anyone.
That's so lovely to hear. Wow, sounds brilliant. Well, yeah, looking forward to hearing your stuff.
Thank you. So this poem I'm going to do now, it's called Flowers, and it was written at a time that I felt my creativity was only being focused on because of the potential it had in terms of, oh, we could like make money out of this and stuff. And I was like, that's not what I'm doing this for. And I felt very insincere and lazy in my own craft. So it's called Flowers, and it goes like, Bismillah. Flowers in a field that were picked too early. They hadn't bloomed yet, taken by the hands of those thought worthy. But what's the thought when you haven't planned how to nurture such a precious vessel of inspiration, so pure yet delicate, capped by the limit of one's motivation? And we're all guilty here. We're creatives that care deeply but aren't actually carers. The dried up petals and the stench of neglect showed us we aren't any fairer than the ones who take what they want, lacking any form of patience under the guise of creative ambience. Rather than taking the time to be a gardener, catering to the needs of everything growing in our reach, we start to leech, stripping away any purity that started off with this dream. It's the side effect of being addicted to greed. What isn't able to be made into a franchise meets its inevitable demise, so it's no surprise when what should have been the most beautiful flower in the room dies, and we didn't give it a chance to bloom. So I'm taking a step back. I no longer want to be crushed for the sake of one's perfume. Yeah, I had a garden too, and that much is true, but I hired unqualified botanists that gave me false statistics. The gloves are being worn, the previous owner still left some thorns from the stem of a rose that he thoughtlessly torn out of the ground. Silent screams and noiseless sounds, grind-hungry entrepreneurs foaming at the mouth. We want to be heard, but all they do is shout, "What do we pay you for?" They say time is money, but impatience costs more. Spirits that once skyrocketed are now being brought down to the floor. And it wasn't meant to be like this. If you ever find me looking back and reminisce to a time before hopelessness and reality both mixed, then I beg you, shake me out of this ignorant bliss. I was looking to be whole, but my goals I missed. Too busy picking up the broken bits. Nothing will change the past. It's what I do now that counts, and I want my actions to last. I sold promises and but bargained with regret. So it's no surprise not all of them were kept. My eyes smiling as my mouth blinked. My heart is what wept. So that's Flowers.
Amazing. Woo!
Thank you.
Love that.
I've got a few. We're good for time, right? I feel like I just started.
Yeah,
man. Yeah.
totally.
Cool. Are we just jumping right into like the next one like that, or?
Yeah, sure. However you
Cool.
want to do it.
So usually I do my pieces to music, but I'm trying to be considerate of like, because these are extenuating circumstances and anything that can go wrong will go wrong. I've decided to just do them a cappella. I work in IT, so I know that from experience that, you know what, we can plan it all we want, but something's going to go wrong. So this one's called Hold On Part 1. It's my first Spotify release, and it's basically me reflecting on a few years of my life and coming to like a conclusion. We always hear stuff like, oh, it was written in the stars and it was destiny. And I thought, well, what if the stars lied to us? Like, what about that? So it goes like, I spoke with the stars high up in the sky. When my head was in the clouds, I thought they would clear my doubts. Their shining lights had always been beacons of hope in the darkest of nights, telltale signs for my people to be led back home. But who knew the stars were so good at telling fibs? For them I landed on the moon. And the thing about the moon is it gets consumed by all of the things it can view but can't ever reach, won't ever be heard, and only for the shortest time can it really be observed. Still, it's grateful to be shown the love it gets. The moon is a great artist too. It paints and paves the sand with the sway of the waves. You've never seen a more considerate art. The waves never leave their mark. The sand always goes back to how it was at the start. Now, who taught the moon to be so gentle? I mentioned the moon was one to observe, so maybe it learnt, seeing most of the hurt caused by the lies beyond itself from the sky. The stars that lured people in with their beauty, but just like the light they provide, the hope that reached mankind had already died. Or maybe the stars thought themselves to be wise. Over 1 billion of them acting like eyes, but even with all they could see, they were still blind to the fact that sometimes even good people have their divide. That was my first ever release, and I'm very, 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 very proud of that one.
Yeah.
Also, to all the viewers at home, don't forget to stay hydrated. Take a water sip here.
That's so good to have conscious.
In this heat.
I really love that line that the moon is an artist too, and the waves leaving their mark on the sand, and the idea of the moon as gentle and the stars as wise. That's really
Thanks
beautiful.
very much. Thank you. It took a bit of brain power, that one.
Yeah, I can tell.
So this one here is the first ever spoken word piece I did, and this was written whilst listening to George the Poet, and I seriously think it's one of the best that I've done. And I wrote it at a time where I was struggling to come to terms with who I'd been in the past and how people see me now. So I felt like I'd been given like a clean slate, but I didn't deserve it. That's a different story in its own right. We'll save that for session 55. But and I've not even got a name for it. I've just got the date of it, and I can't remember what the date is. But this is one that I've kind of committed to memory. So bismillah. I never knew the implications of judging another man's beliefs or occupations until I had it done to me. And now I know how it would feel to be of the supposed enemy. You see, up until now, I'd lived with a closed mind, and it came as a shock when I found out I had been belied. How heartbreaking it must have been, knowing I didn't commit a sin, yet the eyes of the others spread the lies and reinforced the ties of the verbal ropes that were causing my demise. But how could I ask for refuge when I was the one that caused the feud? And now the tables had turned. I didn't like how my own actions had caused a burn. You see, this is what you call a turning point. When you look back at your life and you think, what was the point? You look back at the meaningless pleasure you gained from causing such pain and think, what was the point? And I'm not innocent. I've done a whole load of wrong. And most of that came from the feeling of wanting to belong, but that's not an excuse. That's hardly a reason to explain the abuse. You see, my weapons weren't physical. They were verbal. My words were horrible and caused a lot of damage to someone's internal self-belief and self-esteem, and now it seems they can't even look at me on the streets. And if our eyes accidentally met, mine would meet theirs with a look of regret, but their eyes would reply with something more of hatred and fear, and none of that is a surprise. See how I said I almost committed it to memory? Hold up. Now, as I look back with a heavy heart, I can't help but hate the fact that I turned on those that loved me from the start. And if I'm ever in a position where nobody favors me, or for my good deeds I'm never accredited, then I wish to never complain, because you reap what you sow. And this is what I set myself up for when I was kicking people that were already low. I pray I'm forgiven for all the pain that I caused, and I know I shouldn't lose hope in the mercy of the Lord. But if the people I bullied and neglected don't forgive me, then I fear the same amount of misery awaits me. And that's that poem, which I don't have a name for.
Wow. Yeah, you can tell that took a lot of like courage and emotion to write that. And I love this idea of talking about, you know, the things that compel us, because we need to belong and we want to belong to something. So yeah, thank you.
We're very mean social creatures at times, right?
Yeah, I think we can.
How am I doing for time?
Yeah, I think you're okay, actually, man. Have you got another piece?
I've got one more piece.
Yeah.
Perfect.
It's called The Glass House, and I'm planning for it to be my next release. And it's mostly about how I struggle with imposter syndrome, where like someone's like, oh, like, you know, you did this great, and I'm like, nah, not me, nah, not me. But you'll see it. Bismillah. My see-through prison is actually a glass house. And I'm not really trapped in. I just haven't walked out. Now I've been wrapped in guilt, worry, doubt. All the things your mind gives life to so they can shout. That voice in my head I've been arguing with again. Sometimes it loses, sometimes it wins. Telling me things like, I don't really have friends. That they're just putting up with me, playing pretend. I'm charity for them, with the time that they spend. Don't bother them again. And I know that voice holds no value. And I've tried to cook up memories to stand true, but the taste of them is bland too. So I know I can't trust myself to deal with this internal issue. And that's where those around me come to clear my view. Because I can't, they believe in me. Because I won't, they give their love to me. Because I don't, they check up on me. And they don't do it because I'm in need. They do it out of sincerity. I'm still learning my self-worth and the cause of my hurting. Time is unforgiving because the world's still turning, and this constant need for validation has been straining my efforts of taming this pain I tried to keep at bay. Still a part of it remains. It's not something I put on display, but I do feel it every day. And a distraction only lasts for so long. Best friends eventually gone, they can't stay forever. Home is where they belong. Maybe I can find strength in them being strong. But back to the glass house. I think I've figured it out. I'm not here to escape, nor am I trapped. I was tasked with lending my ear and help tap into the potential of those growing around me. They too have their battles with insecurity. Place their trust secure in me, and I promise I'll carry them individually. And where I can't help physically, I'll try to help spiritually. Alleviate the pressures of things going on mentally. Maybe this was meant for me. The belief we have in others, we neglect in ourselves. Thank you. that's
Oh.
Glasshouse. And hopefully that'll be
Amazing.
coming out soon.
Wow. And where can people hear more of your stuff when it comes out?
The best place to find me is Instagram.
Okay.
I'm still figuring out how to be active and relevant.
Aren't we all?
But yeah, Instagram. So that'll be. Ooh, yeah. Actually, not yet. MRNOMFOM. So Mr. Nomfom.
Amazing. And I love that line about the see-through prison. I'm not trapped. I just haven't walked out.
Yeah.
Like so encompasses like how we get in our own way and trip ourselves up. And
Absolutely.
yeah, that was brilliant. Thanks so much.
You're welcome. Well, thank you for having me, guys. I appreciate that.
Nice one. Well, look forward to hearing more of your stuff when it comes out.
Definitely.
Great. Okay, I'm going to say bye to you in the Marne.
Yeah.
So,
I'm just gonna stand here and then be banished.
Right. Cheers, dude. Take it easy.
Take care.
Nice one. So I think next we've got the inimitable Jeremy Tuplin. Is he in the room, in the waiting room? You may see him in to my parlor.
He's not actually on the stream yet.
Ooh.
So, I mean,
Naughty.
let's say hello to our listeners,
Okay.
our watchers, not listeners, isn't it? Watchers. Who have we got? Just looking through the thing. My mum's online.
Oh, hi, Matt's mum.
Anita Castledine. She's pretty much there at every single one of those. Sometimes she goes
Oh,
to bed early, so
That's
she can't
so
catch the last hour.
lovely.
Yeah,
Wow.
she's up in Nottingham.
Well, your son is doing a great job. Honestly, I've seen how hard he works today, and it's something else. You wouldn't believe.
and Mr. Nomfom's just posted up as well.
Nice. And I saw that Bavel was also appreciating the lyrics. It's my favorite thing to do, particularly with spoken word and poetry. There's always just like a couple of lines that, I mean, not always, but often those few lines that really sing to you. And it's so worth telling performers that they have, because I know I appreciate it on the rare occasions it happens. It's just nice to hear what lands with people and what resonates. And it's always different for different people. And I think that's the magic of poetry and words, is something will kind of come out and really grab you by the heart. And so, yeah, do feel free to comment in the chat box to tell people, you know, what things are resonating with you and speaking with you the most.
Yeah, I think that's what it's all about, having a conversation. So,
and I guess you can't do that with normal performance, can you? With you can't just shout out to the stage like in between, halfway through someone's set, and be like, oh, I like that last bit, unless you kind of remember till the break or at the end when you have a pint with them. But then often like the moment's passed. So it's all about finding the silver linings with this new way of
it's true. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
like I think me and Pete just sort of worked out that actually, like, you don't get the feedback if you're performing as well from everyone in the audience, but they tend to sort of post up, oh, that's great, and things like that. So it's,
yeah.
you know, often people need a bit more Dutch courage to come and speak to you at the end of a show sometimes.
Yeah,
So,
and the energy's kind of moved on by then. Maybe there's been other performers, and
Yeah.
you know, you're getting kind of shuffly in your seat. So yeah, we've got to embrace this new way and the benefits that come with it.
I mean, while we're waiting for Jeremy, because I think we did say to him 25 past, do you reckon we should show one of your videos from earlier on, or do you think we should wait a bit longer?
Yeah,
So-
we could, because yeah, let's do that. Shall we do the triple banger?
Triple banger. Yeah, let's do that.
Its official title.
Okay, let me just, I think I copied it right. Yeah, okay, let's get this loaded up.
Scary.
Don't worry, you were great.
The
So,
debut.
okay, so this was our,
I just really hope I don't have camel toe going on, because I'm sure that happened at one point.
I'm pretty sure it was fine.
Well,
So,
okay. Let's hope.
most of the time, I don't think I was filming down there anyway. So,
Okay,
you're all
cool,
good.
cool. Kept it as a headshot.
Yeah.
Didn't need to mention it.
Yeah. That's all right. Okay, so this is your piece called
Night Harvest,
Right.
and I suppose it's kind of about all my strange lockdown dreams and all the things that were going on in the world. And I try and keep a record of my weird dreams anyway, so I record them on my phone as I wake up in my sleep, and I like speaking to my phone to try and describe. And often when I'd listen back the next day, I'd have no memory whatsoever of what had happened. So it was a really bizarre experience, but I kind of collected this catalogue of bizarre dreams. And I think I'm really into like lucid dreaming, and have been for years. So it's kind of been a bit of a lifelong pursuit to record what on earth is going on in my head and try and make sense of it, really. So yeah, this is what that's about.
Great. Okay.
Finger, lick, sharp wit, don't trip, pin prick. I'm meant to be older now, but I still hold my breath when I skip paving stones. Boombox, busy streets and broken locks. This city is full to the brim with flashing fluorescent smiles and see-through skin. Plastic epiphanies, grease-wrapped, fast-tracked, another Amazon parcel, but not robed in rainforest splendor. And the kids were yelling, telling us for years, but we don't listen. Instead, we just cup our hands to our ears, press our faces to the walls of buildings and stories that have grown too tall. We are too many. Too many questions about trickle-down economics, so I bite my lip, fold origami cranes out of old bus tickets, and try not to step on the cracks. But awake from a dream where I left the party early, I slid away into the night into a stream of translucent fish with bright spines. I had been the strangest shaped animal in a room full of mirrors, and I didn't care to be there when the lights came back on. So I gather my odd angles to go and play in the dirt, least of all because you brought me to my knees, and more because you can see the gods flying there. When I wake, I know I pulled my anchor from shore long ago, and though there's dirt beneath my fingernails, my fists are full of diamonds, just an overthinking polygon in a paper boat. So I decide to spend suspended time catching a cargo of dreams. I measure them each morning against the lines appearing on my hands where cracked earth tributaries make a map of my landmass. I had my palm read once. He said, I will have a long labor. Truth is, I've been trying every night for years, it seems, to bring these creatures up for air, dredging them to the surface, counting their fingers and toes, these waterlogged urchins. I'm always looking for the umbilical cord. I wake all hours of the night, cloaked in the sweat and sinew of that other continent, reaching blindly for my phone to speak sleepily into its recesses, relaying the geography of that other world. They are birthed and hauled ashore this way. In the morning over coffee, I weigh the corporeal harvest. Listening back is like hearing the ghost of yourself telling stories you've never heard before. I am male, postmarked back to myself. I am bent double looking for clues. My somnolent voice describing what I've seen, still 1 foot in that water, but I am bound to bring these creatures from the deep as a way of making sense of my own maelstrom. In the day, I celebrate the pulse of each new leaf, chasing the sunlight around my room like I too might synthesize and find new ways to bloom in this weather. But they say a millionaire is conducting cloud whitening trials, and I can't tell anymore which world is the waking one, which one I need to return from to weigh my pound of flesh.
Wow, that was amazing. So thank you, Naomi. I was going to do some hand claps. It's weird to sort of obviously applaud your own thing, but yeah,
it's weird.
I mean, obviously, you'll get to sit properly when you're not hosting, right? So you know.
Yeah. No, thank you so much. It's nice to have had a day out in the natures with you, saying words.
Oh, we got Jeremy on now. Brilliant. Okay.
Yeah, nice one.
So let's get him in.
So I know Jeremy kind of so he's a Somerset lad, but I know him from London through the Lantern Society and the Poetry Brothel.
Yeah, I mean, he lives in London. He obviously family from Somerset. In fact, the video we're just about to show, I think originally we did have a plan to go down to Somerset and film it, but then
that'd have been great.
That was before lockdown. And
in the before times, yeah.
But let's get him up for a chat anyway. So, Mr. Tuplin. Jeremy, you there, buddy?
Hello.
So you won't be able to see us because the camera. Well, actually, I could turn my camera on for you.
Oh, yeah.
But you're gonna be towards Naomi anyway, so it's gonna be distracting. So
turn your sweaty face on. Go on, turn it on.
There we go. You can see my sweaty. I'll leave my sweaty face on then. But let me. I'll pass you over to Naomi.
Yeah, no, it's fine. Yeah.
Good to see you, dude. Anyway, so.
Yeah, you too, man.
Right. Okay, there's my sweaty face. Anyway, gonna get Jeremy and yourself on the screen.
I've also got a sweaty face. It's bloody hot in here.
There we go. So over to Naomi.
Jeremy, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you, Naomi?
I'm very well. How was your virtual album launch? You did that last night, am I right?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, overall, I think it was good. People seem to enjoy it. That's the main thing. We had a lot of, I don't know if you saw it, Matt, but we had a lot of technical issues to begin with.
I didn't actually make it last night to it, but I was going to replay it. But yeah.
Yeah, no worries. Well, I mean, maybe it's for the best, but no, it was good. We got there in the end, but we had kind of some serious technical issues at the start.
Were you doing it on Zoom?
No, we were doing it on YouTube.
Okay.
And yeah, basically we kind of, when we went live, we realized that there was this massive feedback loop happening.
Okay.
And we didn't really know how to stop it, so I cut the link. But I realized then that what that had done, the link that we'd then been sending around to everyone for the last 2 weeks was now dead.
Ah, yeah, I've been there. So it wasn't camel toe then.
So
it wasn't camel toe.
That wasn't your problem.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
Right,
I may have been giving off some subtle camel toe that I wasn't aware of.
Yeah.
But yeah, but anyway, we kind of managed to figure it out in the end, and it was actually quite good fun.
Oh, that's great. And, you know, we're all still learning with this stuff. Like, I'm terrible with technology. And like I've said before on these things, I think it's like, it's kind of taking us all back to a more homemade kind of performance and storytelling of like around the campfire where we get it wrong. And that's just all part of it. And that's fine.
Yeah. I saw the learning process. I think people viewing it are sympathetic to that.
Definitely.
Which is good.
So is this your third album?
That's right. Yeah, third album, out tomorrow.
Exciting.
And yeah, I don't know, like you kind of still go, even though it's the third one, it kind of still go through the same sort of motions of emotion each time. They kind of, you don't know how it's all going to go, but
I guess it's like your baby that you're putting out into the world, and you've
exactly. Yeah.
Taken a lot of time and care to nurture it, and
no, it is basically a lot of my friends are actually having actual babies, and then I'm just popping out albums.
This is your equivalent,
which is fine by me.
And how was it recording and releasing all of this during lockdown? What were the challenges that you faced?
Yeah, so we recorded it before lockdown happened, and we finished recording about a month before.
Oh, okay.
Which was, I feel, quite kind of lucky in a way that we had something kind of done, and it finished as well, because if it had been like kind of halfway through, then it would have been a little bit frustrating, to say the least. Wondering when would we be able to go back into the studio and finish it. But I don't know, like we kind of ummed and ahed with the record label about what to do with it, whether or not to like postpone it until like something like September or October. But I'm just happy really that, first of all, that I've got something to put out at this time, and that we're putting out. It's just, I feel fortunate to be able to do that.
Yeah, definitely. And so we're about to watch the music video that Matt, I believe, filmed for you, and it's called Back from the Dead. What was the concept behind the music video?
Well, I have to give credit to Matt in this respect, because we realized I didn't really give you much of a brief for this, other than like, it was kind of like,
I'm used to it, man. It's all good. Yeah.
You just turn up on the day and we like, so what are we doing? It's just basically like, okay, let's just film stuff and have fun and see what happens. I think the only kind of concept that I sort of mentioned was to do with the car and something about me being in a car, basically, which is related to the first line of the song, Back from the Dead, Still Sweating from the Drive, which I think anyone who's driven around London over the last few days and doesn't have air conditioning can probably relate to. But that's not what the song was about, obviously. But it's all about the song's kind of like about returning from I think it's kind of very easy to, in the modern age, to kind of find yourself in a bit of a rut, or like kind of going through the motions in life, or maybe and like kind of or like coming from going through a particularly bad time or something like that, coming from a dark place. And this is a song to kind of remind myself to live a bit more presently, live a bit more vigorously, and love a bit more presently as well. It's kind of like the song is kind of from coming from the dark place to return. So it's very kind of dark and moody. And I think the music video definitely reflects that.
And I guess that's kind of cool then that you didn't
abstract as well.
That you didn't like have too much of a brief for the music video, and you were able to kind of live in the moment with it and just see what happens. I guess that worked quite well. You were embodying like your kind of goal with living in the moment there.
Absolutely, yeah, that's true. Actually, I hadn't thought of that. I guess we just kind of thought let's just see what happens, have fun, and see where we go creatively. And I think we managed to do something which is quite cool.
I think the best stuff comes from that, like when you just kind of have a bit more freedom to go with what's happening in the moment without being too tight about a vision or a goal. So let's watch it. That sounds great.
Cool. Should we say bye to you, Joe? Oh, no, we'll get you back on afterwards. So I'm going to keep you on the chat, but we'll just watch the video.
Okay.
And I might just pause your audio for a bit, if that's all right.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do that. Mute Jeremy. Go back to Naomi. Make it all look professional.
So many buttons he's pressing. It's
sorry about that. We have the audio and the visual. Okay, this is Back from the Dead.
From the dry, might have stayed in hell till someone told me I was alive. I made a pact, the devil only sent me back to love again, only for to love again. The devilish friend, tattooed and red upon my skin. I crossed the border, Uber kind of honor, fell into a rain, got like a cold sauna. The road back is paved with violence. One was singing, she doesn't love me. Go back to the country, interplanetary country. The loveless go to Rome, they make you feel home. Say sit back or Robbie will be so old. Back from the dead, had a good time. Could've stayed in bed if I don't live in peace and say we died. I bought a kind. The devil sent me in only to live again, die again. Hell, I'll fall in love again. I'm loosening the chain, stripped and ready for the pain. Space-time is the answer, melodic broadcaster. The planet is a dance floor and I'm a tiny dancer. We learn a lot about life when you're necromancer. I understand some of it, mostly when I'm dancing. Empty cars, no dimension jive. Throw away your money. From the dead, name of rock and roll. Finally made peace with that itchiness within my soul. The war's over, the devil packed me in only to live again, cry again, make me wanna die again. For love again, sip the holy drug again. There's only been one, navigate the golden sun.
that was Back from the Dead. Going to get Jeremy back from the waiting room.
Vanished to the waiting room.
Let me just unmute him. He might have unmuted himself. No, unmute. Okay.
Oh, sorry. I can't hear you.
That was great. I love the gel lighting. Was it gel lighting to get there?
No, I'd use LEDs, which are RGB these days. So
okay,
yeah, I mean
nice.
gels are old school, but
Oh,
you know.
I'm old.
No, to be fair, you still would use gels if you were using like some quite high powered ones. But yeah.
Yeah, no, that was great. And so the kitten, let's talk about that. Where did you find such a beast, and where can I see it?
No, yeah. The kitten is absolutely the star of the show in that, and I'm perfectly happy if that's the case. So yeah, the story behind the kitten is it's actually my housemate's girlfriend, and the flat that she was living in, they ended up with a litter of 5 kittens.
Wow.
They weren't allowed to have them in the flat, so we kind of took custody of one. And I think on a temporary basis, but I feel like I think
Temporary.
it might be permanent now. I'm not sure how I'd feel about losing it.
Oh, it's so adorable.
Absolutely,
And I really love
completely.
your kind of fighty dance moves in it as well. That was really cool.
Oh yeah.
Do you feel silly
exactly.
when you're filming, or do you just like get in the zone and you're just like doing weird shit? Let's do weird shit.
Yeah, exactly. I think so. I think kind of, I don't feel silly about doing stuff like that. I think part of being like an independent musician is that you kind of
have to be silly sometimes.
Yeah, the dignity has kind of gone a long time ago.
Well, it was brilliant. I loved it. And so what did you just have Matt in the back of a car and you just like tour safely around London?
Yeah, kind of like a lot of those shots were I don't want to give away like the tips.
Okay, sorry, I shouldn't pick it apart.
The game, but like kind of it did some obviously front arm and then also sat at the back was filming it. Yeah.
Brilliant. Well, thanks so much. Good. And where can people find your stuff then? Are you on Spotify?
Yeah, Spotify, Bandcamp. Obviously, the videos are on YouTube. And yeah, so the new album that song is on, Violet Waves, is out tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Nice one. Well, best of luck with it. I hope it goes really well. I'm sure it will.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, I hope to see you soon.
Yeah. Okay. Really nice to chat to you, Naomi. Thanks.
The awkward wave. It's always
cheers, Jeremy. Nice one, mate. Okay.
Right.
Oh, now you got 2 of you. Oops.
Oh dear. Two's plenty. Well,
he's gone. Sorry,
he's gone.
My bad. I kicked him out.
Oh no. Okay. Well, I think next up we've got something pre-recorded from Nick Byrne, who's from Marlow, and he's got a single out on Friday which is tomorrow, called Summer Rain. And he's, I think, played with Music and Words twice already and done one of the live streams during lockdown. So he's, definitely part of the family. So do we have his recording lined up?
Yeah, I'm just getting that up now. Okay, and this was shot in this studio earlier on today. So, and Nick is the featured act for tonight, which is why I got a slightly longer set. And that's what we kind of tend to do in the Music and Words Club in real life. So I thought it was only true in keeping it going, sort of. So all right, I'm going to play Nick's video and we're going to disappear for about 20 minutes. So.
Hiya, I'm Nick Byrne. Thanks to the Music and Words Club for having me. I'm going to play a few songs, and the first one is my last single called Houses.
Hey old man, where did your father go? Did he grow old in his time, or did you just let him go? He was baptized by fire, now he's just waiting for the snow. Hanging on to what he's got, trying to take it slow.
I know you have time, don't you pass it up. Balancing on wires, waiting for the sun to come on. There was lights in those houses, now they boarded up. A warm retreat for a family, now they're just crumbling down to dust. Their voices linger as I wander through the street. If these walls could listen, what stories would they keep? What is life if you don't continue to grow? Self-medication to build your comfort zone. I know you have time, don't you pass it up. Balancing on wires, waiting for the sun to come up. There was lights in those houses, now they're boarded up. A warm retreat for a family, now they're just crumbling down to dust. Whoa, whoa. I can't make it on my own. Soon enough we'll find the pieces that make us whole. Our roots run deep once we've grown. Soon enough we'll call this house a home. Oh, this feels like home, feels like home, feels like home. Whoa, feels like home, feels like home. Oh, this feels like home, feels like home, feels like home. Whoa, feels like home, feels like home. So this next one is a song, it's a new one. I think I finished writing this over lockdown. It's called Hiding from the Sun. I stare away at passing cars, wasting away all my days. I took everything and threw it all away. Oh, my regret. Do you ever feel like you're the only one hiding from the sun, paralyzed by doubt? Oh, I want to get out. Oh, my day to leave all hope shame. I carry all the blame to make my bed. Oh, my shame. I took everything and threw it all away. All my regret. Do you ever feel like you're the only one hiding from the sun? Paralyzed by doubt, how I want to get out. I wander like a cloud. I lift my head as rain falls down. Have I missed summer? Have I missed summer? I lift my head. The light pours out through the forest leaves. The red leaves fall at my feet. I will turn away.
Hey, thanks for tuning in to the live stream, Music and Words. This next one I'm going to play, and it's a fairly new one, and it's called Still Time.
I never looked too far ahead. Just searching for a means to an end. I figured I had done my best. But now I'm burning candles beckoning death. I know I can't escape myself. When I lock the doors and stay inside, and you know I never thought it all through. I'm so glad that you're here by my side. The future, it turned out I strayed too far. The world had started to look cold. The future, it turned out, is not what it seemed to be. And I'm running low on time to make the best of what I've got. I sure hope that there's still chasing all around the hot white outline of my silhouette. Sticking in and out of time, I can't force my logic onto these recurring dreams to carve a line between love and fantasy. I wish I could show you now just how much you mean to me. I know it kills you to see me cry, but it's the same for me. So can we walk those cliff tops and be amazed at the sight we see? I wanna hold your hand and say tomorrow's ours to take, as we wander on the still time. And I've been chasing all around the hot white outline of my silhouette, slipping in and out of time, and I can't force my logic onto these recurring dreams.
Right, got one more song, and yeah, thanks all everyone for tuning in and enjoying all the great music and words tonight. So I'm about to release this next song as a single. It's called Summer Rain. It's out tomorrow, all streaming platforms. Please check it out. Yeah, and I hope you like it. Thanks a lot.
Walk, just walk with me, or just see. You don't have to speak or wrapped up and hard to read. We won't seek anything. Let summer rain wash it all away. Yes, I know young love can be temporary. I'll try and take your mind from the thoughts that steal your light. Waves crash down, in comes the tide. Do you feel the rush? We're frozen in time. Let summer rain wash it all away. Yes, I know young love can be temporary. And I'm uncertain. Yes, youth is fleeting, but I'm still breathing. So I'll rest my burden. Oh, let summer rain wash it all away.
Thanks a lot.
That was Nick Byrne. Sorry, there I am. Let's get Naomi up on the other screen. That was Nick Byrne, our featured actor tonight, performing new stuff, old stuff, and just generally just giving us a lovely chilled vibe. So, what do you think of Nick?
What a lovely chap.
Lovely chap. You got to meet him in the studio,
I did.
didn't you?
He was
So-
in here earlier. And yeah, I think he had to rush off to play football.
Yeah, something like that. So,
And he said his new single is out tomorrow. I don't even know what the day of the week it is anymore. It's all merged into one.
he said he had some people watching him from Chile as well. So I
Oh,
think part of his
cool.
family's Chilean, so they were
Oh,
watching him from there.
lovely.
So it's always nice. That's what I think we're saying about with the online stuff. People can come in from wherever, which is
Yeah,
great.
that
So-
is the magic of it, that we can transcend time and space.
I mean, that's I think even after we go back to venues, I think live streaming will still be an element in that, so we can still reach out to an audience around the world. I thought about this as well. There'd be people that might still be shielding, even performers that would still like to take part. So to make it inclusive, to keep the live streaming, you can still keep that inclusivity going on. So it doesn't matter about the distance or wherever. So you know.
Yeah, definitely. I've been running my creative writing workshop, which I do through the Feminist Bookshop in Brighton, and we obviously moved it online throughout lockdown. And last night was the first night we actually went back into the shop, but we had someone kind of zooming in as well. So it's like there was some of us there in real life and some zooming
Oh,
in.
fantastic.
And it was so lovely, the thought that now we can do both. And
Yeah, I mean, the idea about someone being able to zoom into a live audience rather than the other way around is just like amazing. So, you know, I think that will really bring people up who have been stuck at home,
yeah,
who can't leave, whether like it's COVID or they've got some kind of like
there's other things.
disability
Yeah.
that they, you know, and just to be able to broadcast to a room of people.
And maybe it's making us more conscious of those people, of everyone, as you know, like we're all kind of a community, and how we can kind of reach, have a greater outreach rather than our small bubbles.
Exactly, and I think even venues as like great as they are, they're not the most accessible places, are they? They might be down in dirty basements with stairs. So
Or I've
you know,
been in many
access
dirtier
and things like
basements.
that are just it's not really ideal for a lot of people. So you know.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, and I believe you're going to give us some poetry now, Naomi.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yes, I will. So this is actually a poem I've like rewritten many times, and maybe I just should learn to leave it alone, but I just can't.
Cool.
So here it is in its latest reincarnation. You don't have to be good. You are not the figurehead strapped to a vessel named after a fairy tale heroine. Women were bad luck to have on boats anyway, better relegated to the murky depths, doomed in myth to lure sailors to a watery ruin. Maybe, even now they fear your depth, the enveloping vertigo of weight pulled by moon, that they'll capsize in your magnitude and be washed up ragged on an unfamiliar shore. So much squeezing of your capacity, molded and whittled to a more palatable shape when the curves of your compass are colossal. And though you are also 1,000 screams in a box with the lid nailed shut, you bite right into life's ripe fruit, and to hell with the guardians of your nectar. Too much appetite is unbecoming, they will warn, especially for a mouth that doesn't shut. But from this altitude, you remember, the earth doesn't roll onto her back and play dead. She doesn't disguise her fireworks or her tundras. Instead, she pulls the brightest robes from the box and flings herself across the sky as though it were a theater, offering itself to her imagination. Maybe we all contain a landscape littered with chaos and contradiction and all the things we're told we shouldn't be, but there you are, wild woman, dancing boldly in the ashes, barefoot, dirty, boundless, free. Thank you.
That's incredible. So I've heard that a couple of times already today. So
Many times today. We just we were filming earlier in the woods, but trains would come past, or dogs would bark, or a boat would come by, and my hair was rustling on things. So I just had to say it many, many times. What time are we on at the moment?
It's just about 9 o'clock. So
Okay,
Yeah.
so maybe I'll do another one if
yes,
I
please.
can.
Yeah, that'd be amazing. So
If I can remember them. He places an unsolicited hand upon my knee, leans in real close, says, "There's something different about me." And I feel myself growing colder under the weight of this legacy because this story's so old. And I'm the one that's going to have to explain to my unborn daughter to keep her teeth sharp, her snout wet, her claws forever clasped around the keys to the kingdom if she wants to make it out alive. And in every bar, between here and utopia, there's a man telling a woman something she already knows, but, he's making it real clear for her, just so she can understand. And while we've been waxing and waning with the tides across these lands, they've been drowning out our sorcery with our blood upon their hands. But let me pick up the shattered pieces of your illusions and hand them back to you gently, because little girls are told to play nice. And I wonder how many bright souls sat tight-lipped, swallowed righteous fury, because we've come so far, but it's not nearly enough. And oh my goddess, for every little boy leaning out the window of his daddy's van, there's a man in a pulpit or in government shouting about laws that will close doors to our divine right to choose. So excuse me if I decline your invitation, I refuse your intimidation, and I walk with my hips swinging just the same. Because if you can hear over the crunching of eggshell egos, you better hear me when I say I would rather die standing than live another day where my voice isn't heard, my body is wanted, but my desire lays like stillborn fruit under the death grip glare of the sons of royalty. At their banquet of blood, I would smash every glass as I mounted the table to say, I am still not asking for it. Thank you.
that's weird, but it's just me in the room.
It is weird, just
Yeah.
you in the room, but I appreciate your applause all the same.
You got lots of love on the chat. So I know you don't like reading the chat while you're hosting. It's quite.
Don't wanna see.
It's very distracting. I've done it before.
Look at it.
I've completely lost my my train of thought. But you've got yes, lots of claps, lots of stars and eyes and fire symbols and walk with your hips swinging.
That's a Pete Cox.
No, that was Annie.
Annie.
Love that poem. Lots of hearts as well. More claps and a thunder lightning thing. So
I'll take it. The power.
Yeah. So there we go. Are we going to get the next act up, or are we going to?
Yeah,
do
it
something
could
else?
be a little bit early, but I guess I'm really excited that they're here to join us.
Well, do you have another piece, and if or am I just putting you on the spot? So
Yeah, I mean, haven't fired up the old memory from my poems in a while, so let's see what happens.
okay,
You want
let's do
another
it.
one?
We do indeed. I think loads
Okay.
of people want another one, don't you?
Oh, thanks.
So
You're just being very kind to me. As if I can remember it. Okay. I'm getting up early for all the people who couldn't. I rise in the dark, emboldened by the voices of those who came before me, because this may just be paper and I like to think outside the box, but we've been standing empty-handed in the fields, praying for a harvest for too long. And they've been pissing on us and calling it rain for some time now that we forgot to question why the crops weren't growing. Chopped down our forests and carved us into chess pieces that they divide but won't conquer because we have our hands deep in the dirt now. And if you think your voice is insignificant, then you have not seen how the smallest creatures create their cathedrals. It's a mess. Things are farcical, life like a ripe piece of Halloween satire, TV barking like a dull-eyed bear with boulders for fists. The tide is rising and it's threatening to take back the land, and we, small huddle of fools, stand gazing at the sky. But occasionally, we look into each other's faces. We make a life raft from each other's limbs. We sail into luminous waters on Wednesdays and transcend velocity at weekends. A girl on the bus smiles right into the middle of you, and you see old ladies laughing. Small dogs don't understand the stock market. In the end, like them, we're all just chasing our own tails. But trees still get fatter on a full moon, and we are made of the same sap. A murmuration that would carry us too south for winter, following the pull of planets while crickets rub their legs together in the long grass. A man on the checkout comforts a teenager, and in the park, someone is feeding the birds. We are grains of sand that snag on the fabric of each other's dreams, white water rafting, the spin cycle rendering all of us laundry. Ultimately, our fictions bleed together on a warm wash, and I can taste familiarity in a stranger's walk. Sometimes. There are fires raging and monsters living in all of our bellies, but some days you see hugs instead of handshakes, or a grown-up riding a scooter to work. Thanks. Oh my God, it's so hot in here.
You are truly magnificent, Naomi Wood. Thank you so much for graced us with your words.
Thank you. Well, I actually wrote that last one. Literally, I was walking somewhere. This is in the before times, like months ago, and yeah, it was just one of those days where you think, yeah, this is what keeps us alive. But I actually saw a grown man in a suit just on a scooter on his way to work, and I thought, yeah, why not? That's great.
Why not? Great, excellent. Okay, so it's very warm. I turned the fan off mid poem.
You did, thank you. Yeah, I did notice. Apparently, we don't look half as sweaty as we feel, so that's something. But yeah, I'm really excited to have the next two performers here with us, Aflo the Poet and Pris Nash. So I met them both performing about a year ago, I guess. I saw them both perform separately at Basie Gracie's Poetry Night in Brighton. And they're just both so powerful, real, like strong lyricism and impeccable delivery. And they also both performed for an online charity event that I was involved with during lockdown for Rise, which is a charity that helps people suffering from domestic abuse. And they both completely tore the roof off, and it was really moving and powerful. So I was really thrilled to see that more recently they joined forces together and written a poem together and made this amazing video, which is absolutely going off. I think we're going to share a link to the Vimeo so everyone can check it out. It's really important, really powerful reminder to us all. So yeah, I don't know, maybe I'm still too early, but
they're in the waiting room, so shall I see what happens?
See them in. Yes.
Yeah. Okay, let's submit them in. I'll start my video as well. Just submit. Hey.
Maybe I'm still too early.
They're in the waiting room, so it's like.
Oh, guys, can you turn the YouTube off?
It's like Inception.
Yeah, if you guys can turn the YouTube off, because it's getting a bit of a feedback loop going on. So great.
What's the present and what's the past?
That's okay.
Okay, we got you. Hi, I'm Matt. Nice to meet you.
Hi.
Okay, I'm gonna you won't be able to see Naomi because she's over there and I'm sort of here, but it's all good. But she's going to talk to you in a bit, and I think we can see you on the screen. So
nice.
Right. So Naomi, do you want to say hello?
Yeah. Hey guys, thanks so much for joining us. Really, really glad that you could be here, and obviously saw your video that you released recently. Was it just last week it came out?
Yeah, last Friday.
Yeah, and it's absolutely pure fire and it's wonderful. So I believe you're going to perform that poem for us now together.
Yeah. So it's called Wake Up, and it's inspired by the recent events of, I guess, watching everyone around us wake up to anti-racism and then kind of fall back to sleep. So it's our rallying cry. Trigger warnings ahead for police brutality and loss of Black lives. But this is Wake Up. Okay, baby. Mm-hmm. Wake up.
Wake up to another day of inevitable fate. Enveloped in skin the world conditioned me to hate. The sunrise makes my eyes dilate, unabridged and prepared I anticipate. Taking in the misogyny with sips of my morning coffee, black with one sugar, symbolism of bittersweet. Every day I feel the candle stuck between my teeth when I'm forced to censor my ancestors who are speaking through me. I'm heavy and my back is breaking from all the wounds I've been carrying. The cries of my great-grandmother echo within, trying to navigate a world where the word black is synonymous with sin. There is so much more than landscape lying. I'm residing in a body everybody decided to deem as a weapon. I open the door and begin again, sleepwalking in a sea of ivory. I wish we could all wake up.
Clear my eyes to blur them again. Tears seem to be a permanent fixture. 2020 vision couldn't have predicted this picture, for I am not my ancestors' wildest dreams. Their tears flood the River Niger, breaking banks at the seams as they see in 2020 vision we're still fighting to be free. The images of black bodies swing from our eyelashes, fucking tragic. There's a habit of picking up a movement when the hashtag's running rampant. But when Say Their Name stops trending, the masses replace their blinkers, act like our oppression has ended. I'm tired of the amnesia after white folks say, I hear ya. I'm tired of being tired because I'm tired when I wake up.
And it feels like the world's taken a shot of adrenaline, abruptly aware to the maltreatment that comes with melanin. Marching in solidarity as atonement for lack of clarity, like the veil has been lifted and they finally see the disparity we're subjected to. Everywhere on the daily, how we're baptized in disrespect and austerity. What took you so long for us to finally be believed?
Like we haven't been screaming.
For the justice of those who survived the fire of Grenfell Building, for our siblings who are killed for minding their business, for this country to stop whitewashing its history, for light to be shone on the British Empire's atrocities. There is so much that is constantly left out of the story. There can't be a happy ending until we all
wake up to the rhythm of disruption. Worldwide eruptions because we're sick of the corruption. 4 months later, laws passed in her name, but the cops who killed Breonna Taylor are still walking free today. And it isn't just the US. The UK is not innocent. To disagree is ignorant. You clearly ain't been listening. 3 years since Rashawn Charles and Edson DaCosta. Sarah Reid needed help, but in a prison cell, she lost her life. London riots after Mark Duggan was shot and killed on sight. And the Simeon Francis story clearly ain't sitting right. We're marching for Sean Rigg, Kingsley Burrell, Olachenny Lewis. We're marching for all the black lives taken and the many more lives ruined. We're shouting justice for Joy Gardner because we've ripped off the taping. It's been too many years now. We are done hesitating. We are here to shake up. It is time to wake up.
And exercise yourselves of those colonial demons. Take a long, hard look at the anti-blackness that resides within. Ask yourselves, will black lives still matter in the spaces you're inhabiting? Will you still post black squares while giving black women death stares? Would it kill you to see us as vulnerable?
We are people asking not to be murdered.
Can we please go one day without someone's brain doing acrobatics to think that we deserve it? This is not a debate. This is our humanity. There is no room for performance or fatigue. You have work to do. Drink some coffee. It's an everyday thing. You need to wake up.
I wake up and I breathe. I question how many more people would care once I stopped. Marching for our lives once we're dead is little reprieve. In a way, this is amazing, but in a way, it's not. Because there's hardly any acknowledgement that they're late to the party. Some have the privilege of just waking up to the world we breathe as we choke. Literally, why you have to wait to catch our last breath on film to be outraged to me is a mystery. And yeah, black magic is in the air, but show up next month and show me you still care. Because the fight isn't over at the end of the protest. If your performance has no substance, then your presence here is worthless. Will black lives still be on your mind tomorrow when you wake up?
Wake up tomorrow and sign a petition.
Wake up the next day and donate to a fundraiser. Wake up
the day after that and support a black business.
Wake up the day after that and buy black art. Wake up
the week after that and educate yourself on black history.
Wake up the week after that and educate your loved ones on black history. Wake up
next month and
check in on your black friends. Wake up every day and prove this movement is not a moment.
Tomorrow
and the next day,
and the next day,
and the day after.
Show us
Black Lives Matter. Every day you wake up.
Woo! Amazing! Wow! 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 Absolutely incredible! Thank you so much. That was insane. Wow. So had you guys, how was it kind of, obviously you're both amazing poets in your own right. How was it kind of writing something together? It must have taken a lot of, I don't know, practice to get like your timings like perfect.
Right. we're like soulmates.
Honestly, we were just like, it was meant to be. We're like Power Rangers, but like
Great.
Super Saiyan Power Rangers.
Amazing.
Yeah, like honestly, I mean, we were approached by a director to make the film, or I was approached to do the voiceover for a film, and was like, I need to share this with Chris because we've been wanting to do something together and we're always stronger together. And the director kind of wanted to go with the idea of waking up. So we had like one meeting about it. We spent like 2 evenings together where we like had dinner, did some other stuff, wrote it, and then filmed it. And it just worked really well.
Yeah.
We're gonna do more stuff together. So
Great.
yeah, watch out for these.
Definitely. Oh, I can't wait to hear. And yeah, thank you so much for sharing such an important, powerful message. I believe, do you have some more poems for us?
We do as individuals.
Mhm.
Great.
Yeah.
Take it away, however you want to do it.
Cool. Okay. Do we agree I'm going first?
I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have to do rock, paper, scissors for it.
should I give you the floor space?
Okay, yeah, and
Yeah,
then
sure.
I'll give it back to you. Cool. Okay. So I'm Aflo the poet, and I have 2 poems to share with you tonight. The first is called A Crazy Woman of Colour, and it's the first poem that I wrote. It's quite a long one, but we'll get there in the end. It's about my lived experiences of an intersectional identity. Trigger warnings ahead for mentions of self-harm. I'm going to talk a lot about mental health, prescription medication, drug abuse and sexual assault. But as I said, we do get there in the end. There's light at the end of the tunnel. But yeah. I am a crazy woman of colour. Now that's a phrase that might smell off. It might burn your tongue. Does it feel uncomfortable in your mouth? Well, it can feel uncomfortable in my skin and in my mind pretty much all the fucking time. I am a crazy woman of colour who has sliced and has slit just to feel the warm drops and drips of what flows within me, to remind me I am still present, bleeding and breathing, bleeding and breathing, bleeding and breathing, bleeding and breathing. That is the rhythm of a borderline's existence. Borderline, you say? What do you mean borderline? On the borderline of sanity or bordering on too far gone? Professionals stood on the borderline deciding whether or not they're going to help me. That is my experience of being borderline. I am a crazy woman of colour, and services seem to just medicate us all. Meds up to the eyeballs, and if you don't take them, then they won't take you. Seriously. I mean, seriously. Can someone please tell me why I need to keep swallowing antipsychotics to be deserving of therapy? Can someone please tell me why I can't have the treatment I've been told will treat me best because I didn't win the postcode lottery? I beg you tell me how meds will help me process my childhood trauma, or the intergenerational trauma, or the trauma that simply comes with the territory of belonging to the African diaspora. I am a crazy woman of colour, and I can tell you what medicine I need. My prescription says all I need is to be heard. Just let me speak and really listen. And when I speak about my mind, I speak passionately. But when I speak passionately, I'm rarely heard. Because when I speak passionately, I get called aggressive. And professionals cut me off or turf me out like, don't raise your voice. Don't speak to me like that. I'm really sorry. But I'm going to have to end the appointment here because you're being quite intimidating. 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 Oh, you mean you can tell I'm not quite all white, so my tone is intimidating. Maybe the tone of my voice, maybe the tone of my skin, but the totality of my tone frightens them. So even though I'm light or right, they see the darkness in me and they back down. Lights out, blackout, and services bow out because I am a crazy woman of colour. I'm a crazy woman of colour who grew tired of waiting for a suited white saviour with a medical degree, who would never bother to truly understand me. Instead, I used to wipe my tears and blow up my nose. Charles and Amanda, ready with the tissues, you know, bag me up and bring me up, then get tossed to the curb, just in time for the cold light of day. Graze but unfazed, eyes glazed, eyes crazed, eyes like saucers, the morning routine. I peel myself off the pavement, off the floor, off the mattress of an undesirable, dust off the shame, and do it again and again and again and again, and the next night and the next night and the next night and the next night. And if it keeps buzzing, I won't have to face it, right? Wrong. The batteries die if you keep buzzing too long. I'm a crazy woman of colour. The blacker the berry, the sweeter the juice, but some white tongues can't handle the flavour. They can't handle this fruit, but I look a little less spicy, I guess. So I make a great tester, I guess. And boy, did the boys test me. I've never been with a brown girl before. From the lips of white boys, black boys, and brown boys too. And note, I say boys, not men. Because they are boys, not men. Some clearly set a target and tried to pursue. Was I easy? Or just an easy target? I wish I knew. I wish I'd known better. But when your first sexual experiences are without your consent, how do you learn where to draw the line? Where do you learn to say no? When do you learn you can say no? Those boys took pieces of me each time. I was already broken, but they made me feel missing. I'm a crazy woman of colour, and I've lost myself before. I've lost my mind countless times, but I think I'm learning. I think I'm learning not to not lose it, but to see the silver lining. Like in the depths of my depression when I haven't bathed in days and I can smell myself. I smell like pain. I smell like numb. I smell like fear. No. I smell like bravery. I smell like strength. I smell like fucking resilience because I am still fucking here. I may still be in bed, but I am still breathing. You know, I'm crazy about being a crazy woman of colour. I'm strong like Nina and crazy like Miss Simone. I get high off my highs and recharge on my lows. And yeah, it swings and roundabouts, but that's just how my rhythm goes. You know the phrase, you can't appreciate the sunshine without a little rain? Well, if I can go to bed satisfied at the end of a bad day, it's because of all the pain. Feeling fine feels amazing, and average is bliss. I am so more than okay with being okay, and despite the dark times, I'm thankful for this. So yeah, I'm crazy about being a crazy woman of colour. Being a brown girl isn't the easiest identity, but fuck me, are we beautiful. And beauty and culture runs more than skin deep. A culture and history so rich and diverse. I am the descendant of Nubian queens and the descendant of those who survived the journeys across the seas, shackled to the bottoms of boats. And though it ain't easy, what with racism, sexism, misogyny, misogynoir, white supremacy, white feminism, high rates of psychosis within the community, gentrification, ghettoization, the harmful picture of a strong, independent black woman who don't need no man, microaggressions, cultural appropriation, and culture vultures like the Kardashians. Black women are unbeatable. So yeah, I'm crazy about being a crazy woman of colour because it makes me who I am. I am sensitive, I am strong, I am wise, and I've been wrong to ever think I am anything less than worthy, to ever let anyone treat me as anything less than worthy, because now I know I am a hell of a lot more than worthy. I am kind, I am tender, I'm creative, I'm appreciative, I'm empathetic, I'm ambitious, I'm intelligent, I'm resilient, and I am fucking crazy about being a crazy woman of colour. And I wouldn't have it any other way. Thanks.
Oh my God, incredible. Yeah, I think I've seen / heard you perform that several times, and I always love it so much. Thank you so much for being with us and sharing that. I know it's like hard to talk about these things and open ourselves and be vulnerable, but that is, yeah, really powerful. Thanks.
I think that's the best thing about poetry as well. You know, I think it's a cathartic experience to write it and share it, but then being able to like connect with other people just gives it that whole nother level. So yeah, it's a real help.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, I have one more little one called Compost.
Great.
So I'll go with that. Over the years, so many people have shat all over me. Empty out your wheelbarrow full of dirt. No need to feel guilty. Your discomfort matters more than my hurt. That's what I learned. I sunk, I stunk, I dwelled and withheld. I laid down and accepted. They tried to sap my joy, yet here I stand, dripping with sap. I support myself. I am nourished. encouraged, cultivated, and demonstrated that I am growth personified. I am strong enough to feed young minds the fruits of my heart and soul, because now I am fertilized. Some people don't know what to do with their trauma. Some people don't know what to do with their shit. Deflect it, neglect it, smother others with it, reject it, redirect it, bury it, then resurrect it. They feed their loved ones to their wolves, then act surprised when they get bit. And that's why we shouldn't forget the concept of composting. Keep hold of your shit and shove it in a purpose-built bin. It needs tending to every so often. You can't just shove it in a dark place and hope it sorts itself out. But eventually you'll see your shit turned into something you need. Today, I stand before you feeling grounded and tall as a tree, in a way thankful for the shit others threw at me. And don't use my words to excuse, because it doesn't make it okay. But eventually we grow strong and tall enough to see the positive in every day. Bid farewell to the folk who have hurt you and to those refusing to meet your needs. They tried to bury us in their shit, but they didn't know we were seeds. Thank you.
Woo! Ow, ow, ow! Amazing. Thanks so much.
The resurrection.
Definitely all about that. And I really encourage you. I know obviously you can't see on the YouTube chat box at the moment, but please do log back on afterwards and look at all the lovely things people are saying. It's absolutely going off. People saying they're so grateful. You have the command of the words to express and show others. You have the real command of the power of poetry, words and feels for days. Such a powerful duo. All the emojis you can possibly think of.
Thank you, everyone. It's so kind. Yeah, we'll post the link to the Vimeo in the comments. Or
yeah,
I'll do that.
Matt has actually already done that, but yeah, the more we share it, the better, because it's something everyone needs to see. So let's get it out there.
Amazing.
I was going to say to you before you go, Aflo, obviously, I know you spoke at the last BLM in Brighton, a really rousing, incredible speech. How was that for you? Had you done anything like that before?
Yeah, so I've spoken at a couple of protests now. I mean, the last one in Brighton was the biggest crowd ever. And I shared a poem about decolonization, and that was amazing, because I think it's not necessarily something that everyone necessarily talks about or understands when we say what does it mean to decolonize, or what do we mean by decolonizing education. So it really meant a lot, all of the feedback and how much it resonated with people. Yeah, and me and Pris will be performing at the protest on Saturday, as well as loads of other amazing people. So yeah, this movement is not a moment, and we're keeping on, we're pushing.
Definitely.
If you'd like to find what else I'm doing, you can find me on Instagram and Facebook at Aflo, AFLO.thepoet. Yeah, and I hope to see as many wonderful faces as possible on Saturday.
Yeah, so that's Saturday in Brighton. And yeah, at the last protest, Aflo was really just reminding everyone that the UK is not innocent. And yeah, it really touched so many people. And I think ahead of Saturday, I know official Brighton BLM has been reminding people to say their names, to learn their stories, so that, yeah, we can remember all the people that have been affected in the UK.
Yeah, it's really important that we reflect on the city and the country that we're in when we're talking about anti-racism, because obviously, and rightly so, there's been a lot of discussion in America, but as Chris and I said earlier, the UK is not innocent, and so we need to hold ourselves to higher account. Yeah, I think that's enough from me. I'll hand over to the wonderful Pris.
Yeah, let's have Pris.
Yeah, just take my wine with me.
Will she drink it otherwise? If you leave it there, you might lose it.
Oh, hey.
Hey. Oh, so you're on the water. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Nice. Well, thanks.
Wine makes me sleepy and weird. We don't want that.
Yeah, me too. And it's like all the lights in here, crazy.
There we go.
No drinking on the
Right.
job.
I'm not as prepared to learn them off by heart because I work 2 jobs and I'm tired. So.
That's totally fair enough. Well, that's also the great thing about doing things online, is you can kind of do what I'm doing, where you hold it slightly out of shot and hope no one realizes.
I'll be glancing down every now and then.
No worries. Well, yeah, thanks so much. Take it away.
But yeah, this is Yeah, this is one of the first poems I wrote when I started writing like poetry. Seriously, loves Black women. The ones who kiss and caress the landmarks on our face but scream when we bring up the subject of race, inequality, police brutality, hierarchy. Those who change the subject and make you feel bad for trying to educate them on why your people are dying in police custody or walking down the street or forgetting to signal at a traffic light or selling CDs. If you want to be up in my chocolate temptations, then you need to understand the context behind my frustration. But in your world, I can only be the angry Black woman when you let me. You only want to... You want to rip out my voice until it's time for me to bleed. I can only be powerful between the sheets, and to that I say, fuck you, I am more than your ancestral fantasy. I should have run, covered your body in gasoline and lit matchsticks when you told me to take this white dick. I should have run when you didn't understand generational trauma, didn't want to know why Black Lives Matter was so important. Why the fuck did I excuse your rudeness and boredom and allow myself to be colonized by a guy who wanted the rhythm but silenced the blues? Why did I choose to stay with someone who introduced me to his friends as African, exotic, ethnic, dark-skinned, urban, explosive, a little piece of chocolate? I should have snapped your fucking neck the first night you stayed, stopping us making out and pulling me to the mirror and say, look at our skin together. Bitch, I know that you're white, I've been Black my whole life. Do we really need to point out that you're slightly obsessive? Because I'll happily inform you that interracial couples are not progressive. We are not woke. Racism hasn't ended. This is not revolutionary. And you can compliment a Black woman without mentioning her skin. Newsflash, you can compliment a Black woman without mentioning her skin. And for the people in the back, you can compliment a Black woman without mentioning her skin. In the past, I was an insecure masochist who succumbed to entertaining men who refused to look within. I allowed myself to be a prisoner of fixation while demanding reparations. I fucked enough white men to know it doesn't work that way. And on this day, I can say I love myself enough to not endure that again. And when they try to whisper empty compliments with emphasis, I'll say, eat your heart out and dine alone with your preference.
Yes. Oh my God. Amazing. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Sorry, I stuttered and messed up. But
not at all. No, you were pure fire. I just love that line where you're like, I should have snapped your neck off. Love it. So good.
We love a visual.
Do you have another one for us?
I do. It's a short one. This one's got a lot less swearing in it.
It's all good.
And yeah, I wrote this one this year. It's about learning self-love and self-appreciation, because we forget to sometimes, and you have to realize that, the words that come out of your mouth, you're the first person to hear it. So you need to make sure you're saying nice things to yourself. And this is about realizing who you are and embracing all of that. And I'm just chatting shit, so I'm gonna read the poem now. This one is called Becoming Overcoming. I forgot how I need to thank myself for carrying myself. My body that kept me so safe, I owed an apology. I've learned I need to love myself for 6 people and stop waiting for a seat at the table. Like forming defense in battle, I shielded myself from anyone who tried to get close. It wasn't until they withdrew I realized the strategy hurt me the most, antisocial and alone. Too many years were spent drinking from the fountain of self-sabotage. How can I expect to heal when I've been filling myself with such poison and poured salt on my scars? I've decided now is the time to quiet my mind, unlearn the habits that led to my demise, take note from observation, assimilate conversation, and learn how to compromise. Only then, like Maya, will I rise. I used to think my biggest fear was being alone, and how fragile was the ego residing in me. Because years go by, I realize it's who I become when I forget to love myself, and I remind myself to practice unapologetically. Give myself permission to embrace the waves of whatever washes over me. Everything I feel is valid. I am strong. I am seen.
Oh, so lovely. Thank you so much. And I just want to read some of the comments again. It's been going off. So good. Lots of clapping emojis. Brilliant. So brilliant. Dan really appreciating the line drinking from the fountain of self-sabotage. Fire emojis all round. So powerful. Lovely. More claps coming in. I'm telling you, because I know that it's what I'd want to hear if I was performing. You never, because that's also the thing. Afterwards, when you look, you can't line it up. You can't line up the chat box with the poems. So it's good that I'm telling you now, basically. Anyway, thank you so much. That was brilliant, and I look forward to seeing you both on Saturday. So that was Pris Nash and Aflo the Poet. And if you felt like you gained something from their poetry, please consider, and if you're able to, donating to their PayPal. So it's paypal.me/Pris Nash, capital P and capital N, and paypal.me/Aflo the Poet, all one word. Thank you.
Thank you for having us. It was amazing.
Thanks
Thank you
for being here. Take
being
care.
on the stream. I was very moved by all your pieces as well. So yeah, take care, guys. Right, put them in the waiting room.
Nice one.
Great, and we're back to
Whew.
Naomi.
So hot in here. So next, I think we have Adam Giles Levy. Am I right?
Yeah, so I think we're going to shut down the Zoom now because Adam doesn't have Zoom. He hasn't quite got the technology on his phone.
Oh, how is he coming to us?
I'm going to get him on Facebook.
Oh,
So
okay. So you can do that, like just switch platforms and that thing.
that is the beauty of
Thank
this,
goodness you're
desk.
here, because I don't know, I'd be like using pigeons or something, or like cups to the ears.
If you actually get pigeons to deliver messages, that'd be amazing. So
That would
yeah.
actually be a whole other skill set, wouldn't it? That'd probably be quite useful in these times. But yeah, I'm looking forward to hearing his stuff. So he's actually coming to us from Spain, isn't he?
Yeah, that's if he's got the timings right, because there's a different time difference.
Oh,
but
okay. This is the magic thing. We're transcending time and space and reality, and we're stretching it. And yeah, I've been reading a lot of books on physics during lockdown, and slowly, unraveling my mind, but in a good way. I've been reading lots of Carlo Rovelli and Dean Radin. Don't know if any of you have read those dudes, but they're pretty cool. But yeah, so I believe he's an alternative blues artist.
That's correct. Yeah, he's been at Music and Words many times. So let me just. I'm ringing him, so I'll turn that down.
There's the dial-up connection. We're
Yeah.
back in the 90s.
Yeah, he's been at Music Words a few times. He's been a featured act. Oh, no answer. Okay,
Too busy for our call, are ya?
I think we might be early. So
Oh no, you're gonna ask me to do another poem again, aren't you?
I will. Yeah, don't worry. I mean, if I didn't bring my guitar, otherwise I could have done one as well. But oh, here he is. We got
Okay.
him. We got him.
We've got him.
You saved. Don't worry, Naomi.
Whew.
Hey, Adam. Sorry,
Hey.
I'm just going to go and chat to you first, and then I'll pass you on to Naomi. How are you doing, buddy? You all right?
Yeah, good. Thanks, mate. You?
Oh, wrong split screen up. I've got me and...
I am just going to, because I'm on my phone and I'm just logging into my computer. I'm going to get you on there because it would just be easier for me just to look at the screen rather than hold the phone up the whole time.
That's cool. I could get Naomi to do another poem if you want.
Oh,
So,
Yeah, go on. Let her do another poem.
Oh,
All right.
no.
okay, take it away, Naomi. We'll come back to Adam in a minute. So,
I hadn't
Give me 2
prepared.
secs.
Not prepared for this. Okay. Here's a little number for you. How does it begin? I've got the winter blues, she says, as she buries her hand in mine. Feet crunch through garden frost. She's sad, but she's singing, so I choose to take that as a sign. These days, when I look out the window of 4 walls, it doesn't feel like a barricade. Knitted together, these blue sky dreams grew flowers in the window and turned this party into a parade, I say. When she feels numb with uncertainty about tomorrow. To plant rose-coloured things in the depths of the wilderness that both she and the darkness can borrow. That the winter is teaching us every day to send our roots down deeper within, curled in quiet unity in our earthing before our birthing can begin. That her ascension will bear fruit for her small kingdom to witness. Earth damp cocoon as limbs stretch awakens and her sap becomes its richness. Out in the meadows there are songs, with forgotten names and melodies, but they long to fold you back into the stories of the earth. And once upon a time, the river met the sea, and the salty tears would mingle, calling in lost harmony, a spell for the forgotten wisdom of dust. And our grandmothers tried to teach us. Each seedling has its service, while seasons furnish fertile land with the buried treasure of purpose. And just like they told us, these foraged fruits could aid our evolution and rebirth. The magic of their medicine has always been hidden within the earth. But for this gentle science, we have been hunted like yarrow grown by gravesides. We lay in darkness while our stories were deconstructed. Our freedom feared by man's cold hand. What profit can be spun from a harvest so abundant? But clear as obsidian, earth-stamped secrets are calling through to remind us of the comfort of community and the sweetness of solitude. From them, we learn about resting and growing, when to bloom or let things go, when to unfold ourselves like origami creatures, to go to sea to fly, and when to lie fallow. They teach us to embrace impermanence and when to anchor to the land, rendered more beautiful by the line danced between strength and fragility across time's shifting sands. Maybe crowning trees know our evolution is like them, to rise by lifting all. Their dream for us is to shine in the sharing, and that the kernel of your wildest truth will break open in deep soil. Thank you.
Woo! That was amazing, Naomi. So, and thanks for being put on the spot and just going with it. You know,
Ooh,
so
yeah, goodness me.
this afternoon she's writing loads and loads of notes, like, you know, notes, and it's like, wing it. She's like, no, I can't wing it.
No, I don't like winging it. I like to be prepared.
But I've made you wing it now. So how do you feel?
Threw me in at the deep end, didn't you? Yeah. Well, this is also, like we were saying, like Aflo the poet was saying, it's the power and catharsis of poetry is, you know, it's not meant to be perfect. It's just meant to be real. So hopefully that's what it is.
Right, Adam's ready now, so I'm going to give him a quick
show him into my parlor.
You know, I've never done this, but I'm going to put us on a quad, so you'll see all 4 of our screens.
There's 4 of us.
Yeah, so there's 2 of you.
Oh
me,
my God, it's like it's crazy.
And Mr. Levy.
Wow, wow. Who am I? What are we?
There we go. Adam, how you doing, mate?
Yes, I'm good, thanks. Thanks for having me on.
What time is it over there, man? I couldn't work out whether you're an hour forwards or...
We're an hour ahead.
Okay, so we're keeping you up then?
No, not really. Just had my dinner.
Yeah, I mean, you Spanish like spend dinner now, and you'll be going out soon, won't you? So,
well, maybe if we were allowed to, yeah.
Yeah. So, how's life been treating you over in Spain?
It's I'm good, healthy. Family's good. I've been spending these last few months just buried in words, really. Writing songs, poetry, translating a computer game.
Wow.
That's something new.
That sounds interesting. Yeah.
So yeah, just spent the last 6 months just buried in words. It's been I don't know, it's actually been quite good in that sense.
That's brilliant. And are you going to share some new stuff with us tonight then? Is that what you've got, or have you, is it still...
well, I could share a couple of poems with you if you wanted.
That'd be great.
The songs I've recorded, there's a couple of old ones in there and a couple of brand new ones too. So
let me introduce you to Naomi first, actually, because I've not done that. This is Naomi Wood, so she's the host tonight.
Hi, Naomi.
Hello, nice to meet you. I hear great things.
Great, I'm glad.
So yeah, I'm going to let you guys sort of chat for a bit, and I'm just going to stay behind the scenes for this. So, but yeah, please, by all means, go and give us a poem. That'd be amazing.
Yeah, let's have a poem. And I guess
straight off the bat, or you want to chat first?
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Okay. What have we got? Actually, I've been a couple of months ago. I got in touch with Pete, and asked him to start hooking me up with a few prompts for writing the poetry.
The infamous Pete Cox.
Oh yeah, he's everywhere, that guy. And this was one of the ones that came out of one of his prompts, and it goes something like this. I saw life through the eyes of a warrior, a maiden of strength, shield on her shoulder, seen as a god, worshipped by many, certain of purpose, certain and steady. A purpose so true her presence inspired, she led from the front against axe, odds and fire. Ferocious with sword, courage and valor, last thing they saw on their way to Valhalla. In time, she grew tired. She buried the warrior, fingers in the dirt, deep in the forest. But this story was written, legendary creature, one more lesson in need of a teacher. A blade in the chest, the son of her lover, released from her body, the dream it was over. The glow of a candle, bright in the deep, Valkyries guide her carriage while she sleeps.
Nice. Yeah. Thank you. I like that idea of the Valkyries guarding the carriage. Mythical landscape imagery.
So how's it going, Naomi?
Yeah,
enjoying presenting music and words this week.
It's been a ride, a wild ride. Yeah, it's been a really fun day. Like I said before, just really nice to be surrounded by creativity and people, and yeah, Matt's just a hardworking gem. But you said
he's a bit of a ledge, isn't he?
He's a ledge, yeah. So you said you've obviously been writing loads during lockdown. Where have you mainly been finding inspiration from?
Most of the inspiration, I think, has come from reading other people's work, receiving sort of outside input. You know, people like Pete reaching out to help with keeping that motivation going. Also, meditation.
Mm-hmm.
And generally just a sense of having this time to be quite quiet and doing a lot of reflecting.
Yeah, that's great. What a wonderful opportunity, like some of us have then to explore what's going on in our brains and to really delve deep. Like sometimes can feel like a bit of a rabbit hole, but I think writing prompts are so great as well because they help you not be too precious. I think we've all got these kind of like ideas swirling around of like what we want to talk about, but you can get too attached to the outcome. So I see writing prompts as like, I guess, I don't know, like you're just not attached to the subject matter maybe so much because it's come from someone else and you can be a bit freer.
What I find is that it's when I get the prompts, they tend to then just be a gateway for an idea that's already in my mind.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So what it does is gives me a way of channeling that thought process in perhaps a different direction that I would never have thought of otherwise.
Yeah, maybe
with Pete's prompts, what I was doing is just putting on a timer and for an hour and trying to work from having a blank page to having something complete that I could perform. That was the idea.
Nice, yeah.
And so putting a bit of a time pressure on it to like you say, not be too precious about it. Just really get to the essence of it. Yeah, get to the essence of it, and then sort of bury down on that particular point. I find that when you've had a bit too, perhaps more time, then it starts to, perhaps meander a little bit away from what the real essence of the idea was in the first place. So that's been a cool thing that I've been doing over the last couple of months.
Cool. And I like what you're saying about there's always like almost like a kernel of truth that will find its way out, like one way or another. You're given a writing prompt, but something that has to come through you will find a way. I like that idea, and I think that's I can definitely resonate with that.
Yeah, I think it's literally just giving you that extra little bit of motivation to sit down and write because you've had someone else make an effort to send you something. But also just give you maybe even just the first line. Even if you could just use the prompt as the first line, then you're off and away then.
Yeah.
So it's just a different way of getting started, I think.
Yeah, and getting started is, as we know, the hardest part.
It can be. Yeah.
So are you going to share some of those things that were inspired by Pete Cox's writing prompts now? Do we have some of those?
Yeah, I can do if you'd like.
Yeah, let's have those. Because of course he's here with us, and I'm sure he'd love to hear what he's inspired. Yeah.
Hi, Pete. Okay, here we go. I'll give you a couple, shall I?
Yes.
Okay. I found it at last, stabbing around in the dark. The succulent nourishment, sweet on my tongue, slippery emotion, time-stopping moment destined for the past. I cast it on the fire with the clothes I wore in confinement. It could never last. It wasn't supposed to. A fool's game, craving, pretend. It's hard to know where happiness starts and misery ends. The swing that reached its peak, legs outstretched, chest puffed, fingertips clasping on metal handles too soft to have seen rough work. It faded, the taste of happiness, and when it did, I landed in this body, the one I take to gatherings, you know the ones, where no one speaks of seeds worth sowing.
Wow. Yeah. That last line really sat with me. I so know what you mean. And I love the clothes of confinement as well. The clothes I wore in confinement. Nice.
I still haven't done that. I felt bad about throwing clothes on the fire. So it stayed in the words, didn't turn into action.
Yeah, it's just as good. It's symbolic. And people are saying, obviously Pete's saying he loves your poetry. He's saying hello in response. And he's someone else is saying there's a connectedness in all of this, like the oneness of self and environment. And then Pete is saying, yeah, potent. So there you go.
Do you want another one?
Yeah, let's have another one.
Okay, let's see what we got in there. This is a shorter one. Magic reception in the Temple of Wonder. Here's where I come in need of surrender. Majestic to senses, infinite in stature, enveloping all in her beauty with rapture. All else appears a game to my eyes, false idols, illusions, weep their demise.
False idols. Yeah, nice. There's a definite like mythical kind of fairy tale element to a lot of your writing that's really like delicious to imagine.
I find that just being with nature is very inspiring for me. And a lot of these word plays really come back to that connection between, or bringing the connection back between humanity and our natural environment. Yeah.
Lovely. Do you have any more for us?
Let's have a look. How about this one? This one's actually, I started in October last year. I started the writing process for a new album. And this was the first piece that I wrote on that journey. So I'm going to share that with you if that's okay.
Yeah.
The time for reverence has passed for now. The slate is clear, a calm appears. Gazing at the in-between, the unchanging, revel now in the quiet of a new beginning. Up and down have disappeared, boundaries blur, they've lost their status. The unwavering abyss, ego on hiatus. Here is bliss.
I love that, ego on hiatus. Nice.
Yeah.
Pete
So
saying,
that's a few of the things I've got in my book.
in your box of tricks.
Yeah. Yeah.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much. And where can people find your stuff? Where are you mainly like posting? Because you do music as well, obviously.
Well, my main gig is gigging, but as you well know, since sort of March time, that's not been possible. But you can find my music on streaming platforms, and if anyone wants to find out what I'm up to, then you can go to my website. If you sign up to to my email list, and you get some free music. So that's a good place to start.
Amazing. So what's the website?
It's adamgileslevy.com.
Great. Thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, you bet.
And we're going to show your video now, aren't we? That you pre-recorded us. So,
yeah, I got up this morning, recorded that for you before it got too hot.
Yeah, and I mean, it's really, really roasting in the studio right now. So I could see why you did that, because I've got no energy to get up there and start, recording stuff now. But we're doing it because we have to, So, but appreciate you coming on the show, and yeah, just after your dinner, it's really nice of you. So.
Well, and all of us that are performing, we appreciate all your effort, mate. So thanks so much.
Cheers, dudes. And yeah, you look after yourself, and we'll play your video. And I won't get you back on the chat. I'll let you go on your night out, wherever you're gonna go. So, yeah.
Good.
All right.
Gonna go stargazing. All right.
Yeah.
I'll catch you later, guys.
Take care, buddy. Cheers.
Thanks,
Okay.
Naomi.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
See ya. Thanks, Naomi.
Okay. So this is our final video for tonight, Naomi. So if I could find it. You doing all right?
I'm doing all right. Yeah, just slowly roasting to a crisp.
Okay. So this is Adam Giles Levy, and he gave us a 15-minute set. So enjoy, guys.
For the night when you will appear, the night sky reminds me it's you. Oh dear, oh it's you, oh it's you, oh dear. There on your body, my eyes take their breath to watch you dance in that white petal dress. Oh, it's you, oh, it's you, oh dear. Luna, luna en la fragua, escucho tu voz, arrobado por tu luz, busco tu favor. The thought I can bear, gone now, take flight. They're making trinkets from your heart and your light. Oh, it's you, oh, it's you, oh dear. Oh, it's you, oh, it's you. Oh dear. Luna, 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 luna. Hey everyone, Adam here. It's great to be able to join you for this week's edition of Music and Words. Thanks, Matt, for the invite, and for everyone else out there, thanks for tuning in. Yeah. This one's called The Ghosts. Rose, a rose, a mother laid a rose on the grave, the one her father chose. She said, well, these things, they take some time to come around now, honey. They'll come around, they will. Water rising up the steep of. Well, wash your hands and walk, I'll take the fall. She said, well, these things, they take some time to come around now, honey. Ooh, well, come around, it will. Oh, 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 yeah, the ghost. Hey, oh, the ghost. They are reaching up out of the ghost. They will reach up, they will reach up, will reach up and pull us down. So oftentimes I've sat and wondered why. Yeah, we never sat beneath these colored skies. You and I, well, these things, they take some time to come around now, honey. Yeah, we'll come around, it will. Oh, oh, yeah, the ghost. The ghost. They are reaching up out of the ghost. They will reach up, they will reach up, will reach up. This old dirty road leads to 7 ghostly towns here where everyone else they moved on to past just new. Staring down the valley, yeah, the tears of 7 towns. Oh, those tears, tears, tears go. Whoa, yeah. The ghosts, they are reaching up out of the ghosts. Will reach up, they will reach up, they will reach up and pull us down. Will pull us down, yeah. The ghosts. I'm heading to the hills, right back where I belong. They keep calling my name. Do myself a favor, watch this city from my skin. Tonight the stars tug me in. I am an arrow in a cosmic boat. Won't you loose me into the unknown? You can find me here, out there on the horizon. Ooh, you can find me here by the fire, no friend in the flames. Ooh, you can find me where I stand in the temple of the night. I bow down and surrender. Ooh, yeah. Went to the ether of infinite wonder, I will die. Goodbye illusions, oh well you can weep your own demise. I am an arrow in a cosmic bow. Won't you loose me into the unknown? You can find me out there on the horizon. Oh, you can find me here by the fire, no friend in the flames. In the shape of an arrow, nestled in a cosmic bow. Yeah, loose me, won't you loose me into the unknown? Yeah, dig my toes deep down in the earth. Ancient roots that teach me my worth. We will dance like dogs in the dust. Dig my toes deep down in the earth. Ancient roots that teach me my worth. We will dance like dogs in the dust. I am an arrow in a cosmic bow. Won't you lose me into the unknown? Hey, you can find me out there on the horizon. Oh, you can find me here by the fire, an old friend in the flames, here in the shade of an arrow. There's something that cosmic blowing. Won't you lose me? Won't you lose me into the unknown? Oh, you can find me. All right, I got one more for you. I'm going to finish with a song called Last of the Light. If you want to find out more about me and my music, then head on over to my website, adamgileslevy.com. Otherwise, stay safe, and I'll see you next time. Oh, let's see alone, we can start to know ourselves. Set adrift with the truth. Sweet confines for walls, no lies in the dark, in the dark. They Battle weary horses, can you take me far away? You were always there when I need you the most. Battle weary horses, can you lead the way towards the last of the light? They keep me up, these enemies, those phantoms on the wind that I can't see when sea touches sky. It's the last of the light, like a boat on the lake, searching for the tide, Battle weary horses, can you take me far away? You were always there when I need you the most. Battle weary horses, can you lead the way towards the last of the light? The last of the light. I know you're tired. Hold on. I know you're tired. Stay strong. I know you're tired, but I need one more time. I need you one more time. Battle weary horses, can you take me far away? You were always there when I need you the most. Battle weary horses, can you lead the way towards the last of the light?
That was Adam Giles Levy. Naomi's just turned the fan off.
Oh, that was brilliant. Thank you so much, Adam, for that. Yeah, that was brilliant. Just like I was right there in Spain with you for a minute.
Yeah, loving the fireplace in that video. You guys can appreciate the fireplace. I'll go back to it. There we go.
Just having a good look at your fireplace.
Right. And yeah, so that was our last act for tonight. And we've just had some amazing performers. Everyone's been incredible, haven't they?
So incredible. Yeah, I was just saying, I feel so uplifted. Thank you so much to everyone that tuned in, everyone that performed. Please continue to check out the chat box for all the links that we mentioned and to follow the performers that were with us tonight, because they're all going on to do amazing things and they have great work already out there and that's just about to come out. So yeah, keep involved.
Yeah, and you're going to end us on one last poem, aren't you? So shall we do a bit of let's do like a bit of a roll through the performers, and I'll do the clapping. You could just read out everyone who's performed tonight. I used to do that like at the end of the Music and Words Club in the Hope. So yeah, and then we'll end on your poem.
Thanks. So we started off with Bavel.
Yep.
Woo! Oh. Then we had Mr. Nomfom.
Yay!
I am like straight over there on Instagram, following both of them already.
I know you are. Yeah.
Absolutely blew my mind. Then we had Jeremy Tuplin, and we saw his music video, which is out tomorrow.
It's out already, actually, that one. So it's already on YouTube.
Sorry,
so
out already.
That's all right. It's all good. Carry on.
Then we had a pre-recorded video from Nick Byrne. Woo! And then we had the amazing Aflo, the poet, and Pris Nash. Woo!
Yeah, they were great.
Check out their video on Vimeo. It's in the chat box. Donate to the PayPals. Then we had a bit of me. Then we had Adam Giles Levy.
You can't get away from your hand claps. I'm gonna do the hand claps. So there we go. Yeah, and Adam Giles Levy as well. So,
yeah.
And now we've got a lovely piece from Naomi Wood.
Oh, I don't know about lovely. Just something I threw together.
All right then. Okay.
Okay, so let's see how this goes. This is just the way it's always been, says a guy who's never imagined a world that didn't bend over and let him come right on in. And I'm diligently wringing my hands. Accustomed to keys pushed between 5 a.m. fingers like untethered butterflies, they just want to be free. Tongue blistered from biting, body tired, bones heavy, head aching from fighting. When he said I wasn't strong enough to drive that truck, I drove it till it became an extra limb. Maybe the one he thinks I'm missing. I rolled my eyes so hard at the guy up on the roof that I could almost see back to when he was just a boy throwing stones from trees, but I'm not taking it as a compliment anymore, like we were told to. This is bloodletting, and I'm seeing it as a call to war. Infuriated by what they see as the decline in divine order, been bullies running the show so long, they think we should have more reverence, be like virgin daughters. But I didn't change state the minute a man entered my body. I didn't liquidate, like I don't move with my own alchemy. My threshold marked by holy water, a baptized baby into the cult of the initiated. Where we learn disappointment is genetic. We are told silence is recommended. And we are expected to be everything and nothing all at once. It has taken me years to learn to take up space, to know my land and what lives in it. I am body and bodyguard, heart sewn up like a second-hand bulletproof vest. They like to believe we are captives bound by an umbilical cord, like full moon got me waxing crazy, blood pressure high, puffy eyes, girl's got the demon inside. But that's just the half of it. My configuration is a battleground of conflicting desire. I am angular budding teenage heartbreak bowed inward with a rising fire, but I am also my mother, chasing you down the road with a shotgun. I am little girl young, learning to swallow razor blades hurled by strangers and sometimes by myself. We are growing, inconveniently, from our picket lines, the volume of our voices, to our body hair. We are staked out on the ramparts of a fortress, and we are laughing into the cold night air. Thank you. Whew, cold night air would be really nice right now.
And we were going to go do that in just a second when we close the stream. So
Amazing. Thanks
Yeah.
so much, everyone. It's been a real pleasure being here with you all.
thank you guys. Good night. Look after yourselves. And buzzwords, stay safe.